And so there I am, 24, 25, my house is paid off, all these different things. And my wife, she went on a little holiday to see her parents. And there I am, empty inside, because now I'm like, well, what does this all mean? I got to that day, nothing. I was actually depressed.
Welcome to It Is Written Canada. Thank you for joining us. There are moments when a person reaches the end of their own strength. When the career, the house, the money, the recognition, none of it is enough. Today, you're going to hear a story that starts with an 8-year-old boy who loved his Bible and ends with a man standing at the edge of despair, ready to end it all.
My name is Luke Hyman, and British Columbia, Canada is where I reside. And I guess I would consider myself a serial entrepreneur, starting at age 14 up till present. But today, I just wanted to share kind of where it all started. I was 8 years old, and I got this Bible. It was, a pretty good sized Bible. It was a picture of Jesus on it and the little kids. It's like a kid's, but it's a large print Bible. And my parents gave it to me at 8 years old, and I started to read this Bible, and that Bible came alive. I remember my dad looking at me and saying, how can you understand it? It's like King James. And you're 8 years old, and as I read that Bible, it would just, I would just like it was talking to me right off the page. But it wasn't long that I was 13, and at 13, I remember that one summer, school was just coming to a close, and I was like, you know what? This summer, I had started to slowly drift away from reading my Bible every day. That this summer, I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to read that Bible. I'm going to be a little more on track, a little more. I need that. I know I need that time with God. And so the next thing you know, that summer went, and I hadn't spent any time with Jesus. And as I look back now, I realize it was like the start of this slow little process of slipping away from God. And so there I am. Guess what? When you have room in your life for something, things fill it. And my sister and brother-in-law and their friends are older than me, and pretty soon I was into drinking, and it kind of crept in. And the next thing you know, there's maybe a little bit of drugs. I'm 16, going on 17, and I go away, get sent to school in the States. And it was a strict school. And on purpose, because my parents had asked all the siblings, hey, where do you think we should send Luke? And my brother Kurt was like, no, we need to send him somewhere strict, not where we went. So they said, my sister the same. They sent me to a school where you just couldn't leave campus. The drinking age was 21. So there's a lot of things they were thinking about. And so they sent me to this school. And while I was at that school, I remember it was hard to get on there at first because I was Canadian and from Canada, and so from people from the U.S. they were like, "Hey, who is this Canadian boy?" But anyways, eventually made inroads, and there's quite a few stories to that. But I got a phone call, 4:30 in the morning. Someone banged on my door. Like, we didn't have phones in the room. There was like pay phones downstairs. I was banging on the door in my room, and so I go to the door, and it said the desk worker, and they said, "Hey, Luke, you have a phone call." Like, who's calling me at 4:30 in the morning? So I go down to the phone, go to the payphone, open it up, and it's my parents. And they're like, "Hey, Luke, we got something we need to tell you." So I'm like, "Okay." I'm here. And then they can hardly say it. They're like crying. "Your brother, Kurt, has been killed in a car accident." I'm like, "What? Like, how's this possible?" Like, he's 20 years old and I was 17 at the time. How is this possible? So they kind of proceed to tell me, "Hey, you need to get a flight. You need to get home. You need to come." So I go to my dean and I tell him, I said, "Hey, my brother's been killed in a car accident. It's graduation weekend." So my dean right away, because of my track record at school, he was like, "Luke," he didn't believe me. He didn't believe that my brother had died. He thought I was just trying to get out of this graduation weekend that you couldn't get away from. And so he was like, "I don't think so." So they had to call my parents and double check. So they find out, "Oh, this is real." So they send me, we get a flight to back home. Wow. A lot of things to think about when you're on a flight. You know, my brother and I didn't always have the perfect relationship. I don't know, maybe some of you, had a great relationship with your brothers and sisters, but, I was the younger brother, kind of sometimes, annoying. I was 3 years younger than my brother, 4 years than my sister. My brother would often like bug me and, rough me up, I had a bad temper. So I was thinking of all the things that, maybe we never said to each other. The last time we met, it was amazing. The very last time we were together, we had this awesome time together. So I'm flying back, but in my mind, I'm like, how did my brother die? He was in a car accident, but there was a lot of things that they didn't really tell me in a short conversation. My brother was living in a really tough lifestyle. He was into drugs. He was doing some selling. It was, just not a good crowd. So in my heart of hearts, I thought somebody killed him. It took, they eventually, we figured that out. But when I got off the plane, I come into Kelowna. I get out, they drive me there, and my dad, my mom, and sister, and they said, "Luke, we don't think you should go see him." I said, "No, I want to go to the hospital." They had just done an autopsy on him in the basement of the hospital. I said, "I want to see him." So I don't know if you've ever been in a hospital after an autopsy, but it's not a really warm, welcoming place. Walk down, it's in the very basement. We take the elevator down. Everybody's quiet. They go in. I go into this room. It's like an operating room in the basement. Dark halls. Open this double door. Go in there. There's just my brother. He's laying. Man, he's got a sheet over him. They pull it back. I mean, there he is. I'm looking at like my 6'6" brother, just totally. He was dead. And I remember sitting on that. It was like a cold table, icy floor, and I thought, man, wow, what is this? How can a 17-year-old person can't take this kind of experience? Like, how's my brother's not supposed to die? And I remember just trying to hold it in, because there's people around, and I'm like, wow. And I walk out of that room, and as I walked down the halls, I said, I will never experience anything like this again. Because I love my brother, even though we didn't always have the best relationship. Sometimes we fought, sometimes things went on. I'm never going to let somebody get this close to me ever again, that they could hurt me like this by dying. And I walked out of that room, vowed I'm never getting close to somebody again. Well, that kind of threw me on a bad track record. And through a number of things, I ended up getting back to school. I was at graduation, just when graduation week, and I wasn't planning on it, but I got back to school. And I had some different girlfriends at the time, and it kind of followed along where I'd get close to someone. Things were looking good, maybe promising. I'd wake up one morning, and I'd be like, that's it. And even years later, facing some of those ladies that had questions like, what happened? I never saw you again. It was just this reckless part of this life of just not caring. Like, after my brother died, my sister got close to God, because I was raised in a Christian home. I was raised in a Christian home, but I'd slipped away. My sister got close to God. I ran. I wanted nothing to do with God. I was angry. I was like, I wasn't blaming him. I wanted nothing to do with God. So just my graduation year, like the year I was going to graduate, I'm at high school. Our school would go out skiing. And so this one particular time, we'd gone skiing all day. Everybody else was on the bus, but we had my own vehicle. We had my truck with us, and we were going to a friend's house. And so we get back in the vehicle, snow coming down, roads are icy in the US, in Idaho. And sure enough, my habits of, alcohol that started, and progressed, there we're drinking as we're driving. And we left the ski hill and we're driving and I remember the roads were like packed ice. Like different places in Canada can be like that, but the roads were bad. It was like thick ice, not taken care of like I would expect. And I was behind this semi and it had been like hours, it felt like, but it was like, probably like 15 minutes. And I was like, oh, let's get out of there. So I was watching, yeah, we're drinking and talking, me and my friend, and I finally just pull out and I start to pass. And I'm about halfway up, and it's a B train semi. And so halfway up, and we're going around a blind corner. Icy roads, terrible conditions, and another semi comes around the corner. And I remember just knowing that there's no way I can get back. We're traveling fast. I'm passing. And I looked over at my friend. He looked at me, and we just bumped fists and said, hey, see you later. Expecting it to be over. And the next second, we were behind the semi we were passing. We pull over, we step out, we get out of the vehicle. It's just so slippery. We're like, what just happened? So this reckless trajectory just was carrying on in my life. Fast forward a little bit. Next thing you know, I'm graduated. I'm working for my dad in a family business. And my buddies were like, hey, let's go to this thing. It's this thing called camp meeting. A bunch of church people would come together, thousands of people meet each other. And, and it's a great place if you want to meet girls, and maybe we need to do more of that for young people these days. But anyways, but I wasn't going to church. I mean, I was at a point where I was like avoiding my family. I didn't want to see them. I was avoiding them. My sister and brother-in-law would like sometimes drive in Vernon, where I was living at the time, to sort of see me. And one time we came to a light and saw each other, and I just quickly turned the corner and got away. And I just didn't want to see family. I didn't want to see anything that reminded me of God. There was just this anger, this pain, this bitterness. So my friends were like, hey, let's go to this camp meeting. And so, okay, yeah. So we left after work. It was like a Friday. We started drinking on the way down all night long. There we are. It's like wee hours of the morning. It's like maybe 3 in the morning. We're going to pack up and go home to this friend's house. As we're coming out, I was like, you know what? I've been drinking. I have a new truck. I'm going to leave it. I want to get it impounded. My other friend said, oh, hey, I haven't had anything. Let me take it. I said, are you sure? He's like, yeah, no, it's fine. So I was in one truck. They were in the other truck. And we're driving across, and sure enough, we just come out a little ways out. We come to this bridge, and there's a huge check stop. And there's police vehicles everywhere, people pulled over, tow trucks there. And we come up in line. The guy that's driving here, he tells them, hey, we haven't had anything. We're fine. It's all good. We get through. I'm watching in my rearview mirror as the next vehicle comes. They pull in. Oh, man, I was mad. Oh, no. I know the truck's going to be impounded for 60 days. I don't know what's going to happen. So we get over the other side of the bridge. The guy lets me out, and I run back. I get there. They've already brought a big vehicle. The big flat deck trucks are going to load it up. I went to the police officer and I said, hey, I've been drinking. I know that I've been drinking. I know that if you check my blood alcohol content, it's way too high. I'll blow if I end up having a breathalyzer test. But I can drive. You ask me anything, I can do it. He's looking at me, and all these other guys are like, oh my word. He says, okay, come with me. Come with me. Like, wouldn't we just do this in the open? Come with me. So I followed him. We go around to the back of the school. He said, do the breathalyzer. But he said, first walk the line. So I walked the line. I said, do anything. We were, he had me do all these things. He said, blow on the breathalyzer. I blew on it. I mean, it's just, well, I said, I told you this was going to happen. I know. I mean, my blood alcohol is high. He said, okay, I'll tell you what. We're going to go back out there. You're going to get into your vehicle and you're going to drive straight home. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm going to let you go. So I follow this police officer. We walk out. The big trucks are just waiting to get the word. I come back around. My friends are just standing there, hands in their pockets, heads down. And I walk there, and the police officer says, no, it's good. He's clear. He's good to drive. They're like, well, he wasn't even driving this truck. How could I get cleared? How could this other guy get off? He said, it's fine. Get in the truck. He looked at me and said, get in the truck. Don't turn left or right. Drive straight to your destination. There I am. Away from God. God uses it. He's trying to get at my heart. I'm running from him. I'm angry. I don't want nothing to do with him. But I went and we go down to this camp. And this is where I met my wife that would become my wife one day. I didn't know it at the time, but it was at that camp. So she wanted to go. There was a bunch of their friends. They wanted to go watch a movie or do something, and so it was a Saturday afternoon. And they said, "Hey, come and join us." And I was like, "Wow, we got this big party planned for Saturday night. So what time are we going to be back?" I'm like, "Oh no, we'll be back right before 10." I go to this party. It's on the river. I go there. I come. There's all these people, and I look around, and I don't recognize anyone. I look at all the faces. I don't recognize anybody. So I just turned around, got back in my truck, drove to the camp, left my truck parked there, walked, and just went and slept in my parents' trailers, which I hadn't been around for a long time. The next morning, my friends came and said, "We saw you come in last night. Why didn't you stay?" I didn't even see them. It was like I was blinded to it. These are the little ways that God used to a person like me who was angry, hating, and totally against God and religion. And he was trying to show me, hey, I want to steer you towards your future wife. If I hadn't got off from that, I wouldn't even gone to camp. Well, pretty amazing that I ended up marrying that girl that I met at camp meeting. And, but we were right during that weekend to get married. It was like all hell broke loose in my life. Because I have such a hard time committing, right? As the different things and the patterns that I developed. I didn't want anybody close to me. I didn't want to ever get to that spot. So there I am, that weekend, that Friday night, all my buddies and stuff, take me out, bachelor party, and, coming in, we go to church the next morning. I'm trying to face Jen. I don't want to face her. I'm like, oh, this thing is like, I know the life she wants, and I know the life that I want, but I know the life that I'm living. And so it's just battle back and forth. It's like these two things always pulling. And so I was like, okay, all right, I'm not going to go out Saturday night because Sunday we're getting married. And then my uncles were all like, hey, no, we're taking you out. And they just took me out. And I remember coming home late that night, maybe it was early. And I got into bed and I was just like, oh man, what am I doing? I'm just living this double life. So you don't really live a double life when you just live it by yourself. But when you're like trying to, now I'm going to get married or I'm going to be responsible to this woman. Now I got to have some, if I keep this up, I got to somehow hide this, or how do I do this? I don't want to hide this. I don't like to live double. So the morning when I got up after sleeping that short few hours before the wedding day, I got up and I was like, I can't do this. It's just not going to work. I can't let this stuff go. I don't want to pull her through it. So I got on a bike and just rode a couple kilometers away, sat in this field by the ditch, and I was just sitting there thinking, I was just like, this has gotta, I can't go forward with this. And it was kind of peaceful just to kind of okay, I don't want to put her through it. Also, my dad's vehicle drives by and I see him, he's looking, and also he spots me and pulls in. My dad was, I hate to say it, but he was like, not judgmental, but he was controlling. He'd use manipulate you at times to, get you to do what he wanted. He'd tell you, if you do this, this will happen. And I don't know. You see through it as a kid when you're getting, kind of moved around. And so it was the first time I saw him just be open and raw. Like he sat down and said, Luke, don't worry about what happened. You know what you want. God can help you. Go get married. Don't feel anything. Don't feel remorse. Just not to not feel remorse, but just don't be weighed down by this. Enjoy the day. God's giving you this gift. We get married. I didn't know that on the other hand. My wife was worried, she had been told, Luke's gone. What? Luke's gone? What do you mean Luke's gone? This isn't supposed to happen. But God worked that out. But it's like the start. It kind of just shows you the pattern that I ended up living in. Where it was like, I've got this one thing pulling on one side, other thing pulling on this other side. And the two are just fighting drastically to win my life. And so we keep going. Now we get a little family. Oh, wow, we get our first little daughter. Getting married was already, all right, I got to be responsible. Now we get a little daughter. I start trying to build a house. Now we have a son. When we had our second child, our son, I built a house on the weekends, working every spare moment I have, pouring everything into it. When I should be pouring it into my wife and relationships, I'm pouring it into things because for me, I didn't want to get too close. Even my wife, I held at a distance because my heart did not ever want to get hurt again. This pattern just keeps going and I keep looking for recognition. So if I build something up, it felt good to build that house. Oh, it felt good to build this building. We're in the construction industry. And time just keeps going by and I find myself there's nothing. There's no happiness. I can't quite remember. I think I was probably 24 when I had the house paid off or mortgage free. Maybe I was a little younger, maybe I was a little older. It's right in there. Then one day we got this check. We'd done this building and it was a bonus for this building. And so anyways, I got this bonus, which put a lot of money in the bank and everything was clear. And I remember just feeling I didn't feel anything really good from it. Because I'd always remember people telling me, hey, when you get your house paid off, then you're an easy street. Then it'll be good. Then you'll be happy. When you get this nest egg, when you get that, whatever it is, you name whatever you're thinking in your mind. I've been told that, you've been told that. I got to that day, nothing. I was actually depressed. So now that I'm married, I'm feeling the pressure. I had used work as a real good escape way when my brother died because I could just bury all my problems. I could forget about it. It was there. Whenever I drank, it would just float to the surface. But work was a beautiful way to just push any problems out. And so it was very addictive for me to take that on. I know we don't often talk about, work addiction, but man, it's a real thing. And so I just went headlong. Now kids are coming up. More reason, more support needed. I need to work more, work harder. A lot of fulfillment comes in work and recognition and then financial recognition. Wow, you get paid for that, remuneration for all this stuff. And pretty soon, money's flowing. I'm a young man. My house is paid off. Money is coming in. Now, I'm not saying anything about anybody else, but I've been working since I was really young, aggressively. And so there I am, 24, 25, my house is paid off, all these different things. And my wife, she went on a little holiday to see her parents. And there I am, empty inside, because now I'm like, well, what does this all mean? I got to that day, I went to the basement, just feeling like it's all a lie. I am not going to live this life feeling emptiness, anger, all this stuff, just like this battle I'm not going to live my life like that. If this is all a lie, forget it. So I go into my basement and I take a handgun. And I say, sit in that basement. I'm like contemplating life. It's all a joke. Everything's a lie. I wasn't happier after my house was paid for. I wasn't happier because of the money in the bank. So life's a lie. All the way through. People are telling you these things, and you start feeling like, I'm just a donkey. There's a carrot dangling in front. So as I sat in that basement, built this house, just a few years, took that gun, and I said, why live the lie?
Luke reached the point so many people quietly come to. When success can't satisfy, when pain won't heal, when the darkness feels louder than hope. But right there, in the moment he was ready to end his life, Jesus stepped in. The Savior who rescued Luke is the Savior who longs to rescue you. The wounds you've hidden, the emptiness you've carried, the battles you've tried of fighting, Jesus already bore them on the cross. If you're running, stop. If you're hurting, reach up. If you're lost, listen. Jesus is calling you by name, just as he called Luke.
As Luke shared with us, his first love was for the Bible, but slowly, almost imperceptibly, life pulled him away from the God he once trusted. Friend, God is waiting to speak to you today. He's not out to condemn you. He's not out to manipulate you. He just wants to spend time with you. To assist you on your journey, we would like to send you a set of our free Bible study guides. This is not just a set of head knowledge scripture studies. These Bible study guides can help you to see the why behind your questions and give you understanding that will bring healing to your heart.
Also, if you have been inspired by Luke's testimony, please share it with your friends and family. In order to keep this ministry on the air, we truly need your support. You can make a donation on our website. You can additionally follow us and share our content on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also listen to our podcasts. Friends, if you want the kind of joy and peace only Jesus can bring, we encourage you to open the Bible daily, where you will find that Jesus himself defeated the devil with these words. It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God.